Congress is now awaiting answers from the NBA on that gambling scandal that shook the sports, its fans, and the sports books. And joining us now with more, Matt King, Fanatics Betting and Gaming CEO. And it was immediately apparent to everyone, Matt, that this could be a really big problem for the NBA, for gambling and everything else. I don't see it really exploding into that. Can you tell from demand, or where are you right now with this?
Certainly from consumer demand, the NBA season's off to a great start. NFL has been an amazing season so far. I think if you look at this kind of the issues that came out overall, first you got to take all the poker stuff out, right? Poker had nothing to do with the sports betting side. No. And then from my perspective, when you look at the sports betting side, this is the legal market working, right? So the way I look at it is this is an issue very much like insider trading, right? You have a stock market. People are always trying to get an unethical edge or a criminal edge. Same thing in sports betting. This stuff, it has happened in the past. You know, the reason that you got caught was because there is a legal market, and we were able to see it quickly. Those bets got reported the day that they happened, and then the investigations kicked off.
The Fanatics, DraftKings, it's so easy to see how you could get someone to, I don't know, miss a free throw or not. I mean, I can see the way, so it's much easier. But with the algorithms and the way it's happening, immediately, almost, from the weird things that happen with it. So it might be easier, but it's much easier to detect it and to get caught.
Correct. That's exactly right. It is very easy to get caught. And frankly, I think what you're going to see is that when this gets enforced, the deterrence effect will start to come into play. Because I think, frankly, a lot of people don't appreciate how serious of an issue this is if you get caught. And I think what you're going to see is people go to jail for this.
What will you immediately say, okay, we see that there's certain prop bets that, I mean, it's fun. I mean, to bet instantaneously on whether something's going to happen in the next 10 seconds on a game. But what is problematic where you get rid of? What we are not doing?
So the market offering is always evolving. So if you look at the two-way contract players after Dejounte Porter, as soon as the NBA asked us to stop offering those, we stopped offering.
What do you mean? How does that work?
So there was basically a class of player that's on a 10-day contract. So very short term in the NBA. They don't get paid a lot of money. And so you're in a world where those types of players that aren't getting paid a lot, you would argue, are kind of some of the ones that are most
Well, we now know you can make $20 million a year and still be screwing around, too.
That is true.
Right.
But so to answer your question, we're always evolving the product offering. I think you're going to continue to see an evolution around props where things like fouls or missed free throws get restricted further. And we're good with that. From our perspective, this is still a very nascent market. It's one that we're looking to always be a good partner to the NBA. And so we'll continue to evolve the product offering.
Andrew.
Hey, Matt, I'm curious what you make of prediction markets, because I don't know if you saw last week, a very interesting thing happened. The CEO of Coinbase did his conference call, his earnings call, and during the call, at the very end, he mentioned a whole bunch of words. He actually said, I just want to add here the words Bitcoin, Ethereum, blockchain, staking, and Web3 to make sure we get those in before the end of the call. He did that to troll all of the folks on the prediction markets because $84,000 had been bet effectively that he would use those words on the call, meaning people are betting on these things happening, and then he decided to affect the outcome by actually saying those words. And so I wonder, we're talking about it in the sports context. That's where you're going here with free throws and the like, but how all of this sort of metastasizes and just how and whether these things can be manipulated or not, and how we should think about that.
So I think prediction markets absolutely can be manipulated. I think that's one of the reasons why you need to actually have robust integrity in place. I know there's a lot of conversation with the leagues around, from their perspectives, and frankly from our perspectives, prediction markets are simply a parallel regulatory regime. It's the Fed stepping in to provide a regulatory regime that really authorizes sports trades, if you will. But you're going to need the same investment in time and money and effort with the leagues to make sure we get integrity right in those places. And then you get the right surveillance in place. And then from there, you also actually have the right enforcement of any issues that come up. Because I think you're exactly right, Andrew. These markets are subject to the same types of manipulation as any others. But they're frankly, it's the same type of manipulation that any financial market is subject to.
You always have illegal betting competition, I guess.
Right, exactly.
You've taken a lot of the business away. Did you know those 4 New York crime families were still powerful and involved in this stuff? The same ones.
I did not know that, actually. So
you did not know that.
I did not know that when it was those specific families. So, but you're exactly right. The first step in all of this is when the market is legal, you can actually monitor trading activity and you can catch stuff like this.
Hey, Andrew, you know what I bet on this morning?
Yeah. What?
That the words 1929 would be mentioned on Squawk Box today.
Really? Really?
I got no odds.
What's the parlay?
I got
what's
no
the parlay?
odds.
What's the line?
I got no odds on that. I like bet $10 to make like $10.20 total because it was just. I guess that people knew it was gonna happen, probably. Like it was a no-brainer.
I think it's a good bet. I think it's a good. But let's see what happens tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that.
Thank you.